We live from the boxing section, you dusty ass niggas.
What's going on? Man? We live from the boxing section, man. I got my dog with me, my boy Combo. What's going on with you?
What's going on, man? What's going on in the session?
Man, listen, we got a good show playing today, man. Um, I'm in the zone. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of fantasy fights. We'll talk about some legends.
Okay, I'm ready, man. I'm with it. Listen. The inbox was going crazy yesterday. Man. You had a lot of people reaching out. Where were you? Where were you? Just letting all the fans know and all the supporters know. Just an IT issue, and as you see, we back at it, and we're gonna turn it up for you, and we're gonna make up for what you missed yesterday.
No, that's a fact. Uh, I'm gonna talk about a few fighters, man. They don't get a lot of the love. You know what I mean? That we hand out a lot, but
Okay.
they're Hall of Famers. They just don't have the name uh, as such as other fighters. But McCollum had some fights, dog. The body snatcher.
Yeah. Uh,
If you look at
I think. Uh-huh.
his resume is pretty good. And also, I like Donald Curry too. He had some good. He had a good resume as well.
I think he. I think the way that his career ended is what McCollum. I think the way his career ended uh, is why he doesn't get the recognition that he deserves. Because yeah, right. He did have he had some great fights. He fought some good names. I say that. Michael
Great
McCollum
names,
did fight.
not
Yeah.
just good names, great names.
Well, listen. It's not always what you did at its peak, man. It's how you go out, and that's why I always say with a lot of these fighters, man, they staying a little too long, and it kind of hurts them.
Yeah,
It hurts their legacy.
right. You right.
But
You right.
who on his record is the most impressive? Like, what fight do you think is the most impressive that he had?
Are we talking about losses or are we talking about?
Let's go with wins because losses is always can be.
I mean, but look who he lost to, and this is right before he retires. This is later in his years.
Yeah, that's later in his career.
So James Toney,
Yeah.
uh, what's his dude name? Oh, he did lose to he lost to a bum too, but he lost to Roy Jones. He lost to James Toney again.
hmm But with Mike McCollum, his reign at middleweight was by far his best division. And he got older, it was harder to keep that weight off. He went up to light heavy. He did get the WBC intern. Um, he I think he got the WBC by decision. He outboxed a gentleman in a 12-round match. Also, uh, if I'm not mistaken, he had the WBA or WBO, and that's where he fought his best fights and his toughest fights is at middleweight. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But he's also a fighter who had a great amateur career. He fought. He won. I think he won like a. I want to say a bronze medalist. So he didn't get the gold, but he did win the bronze. Um, not in the not in the Olympics, in like the Caribbean or Pan Am Games or something like that. So he was a decorated amateur, good fighter. I really just think, honestly, like I said, it's because of the fights that he lost on the back end of his career. Uh,
They hold a
is
lot of
what
weight.
kind of destroys him. Yeah,
Hmm.
but you got to think about it. Even with that, he only had about 5 or 6 losses.
Never
Like
been
the
knocked
guy
out.
only had Yeah. Never been knocked out. You know, and you said James Toney is not a bad guy to lose to. Roy
Roy
Jones is,
Jones, not the
you
bad guy to
know,
lose to.
not a bad guy. You say this is Roy Jones,
And that's 3 out of his
and
5
this,
fights.
yeah, but this is Roy Jones, and early in his career, Roy Jones. Yeah, I remember Roy Jones started out. He came out at '89, and they fought in '96. So at that time, Roy then became developed. He had some season. He had the skill. That's like the um, peak of his career. Uh, and he fought James Toney earlier in his career, but they had to stop it through medical. It was a medical. He lost to like TKO or medical decision or something like that. But later on, of course, they fought again, and it was a unanimous decision that he lost. But yeah, he is a good honorable mention. He doesn't get that.
Yeah, he don't get the just due. I believe he should get.
Could it be because he was a Jamaican fighter? Like what I'm trying to think. What was it that would make it where outside of listen, you lose to when you lose to a guy like Roy Jones Jr. and James Toney, it kind of does take some shine off you because it's like it helped build their resume. It helped make their legacy more. So it kind of takes from you. And like I said, having those two, if he would have had came back and had a good win against, I don't know, I would say if he fought Tony again. Actually, he fought Tony 3 times.
Well,
He
Tony
fought
twice.
James Tony 3 times. No, 3 times. They fought to a draw, and yeah, they did have a
That's right.
medical. Yeah. So I knew they had a draw somewhere there. I just couldn't remember. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. That speaks on how tough he is, man. That speaks how tough he was as a fighter, and he did stick to that name, body snatcher. He did, man. He did rip to the
Think
body,
about
rip
that.
and
Think
tear.
about that. Think about that. He got a draw. Then he lost. So he lost. So, dude, man,
And
you
listen,
got to put that.
what if Tony wasn't doping?
Hmm.
What if Tony was clean?
Hmm.
What if Tony was clean? Like that. See, that's what kind of makes it hard when it comes to the PEDs and the performance enhancing and the steroid, all that. When all that's going on, it kind of makes it hard to say, well, would you have won this type of fight if you wasn't or if you was?
Yeah.
It kind
Right.
of does take away from someone else's legacy and what they worked hard to earn. Now, who's to say he might have still
Hmm.
lost, but who knows?
So you got a point there, my boy.
Because that could have been what took it over the top.
The extra juice.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
A little Canelo. I call it the Nello. The Canelo. You're not juicing, you Nelloing.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
Um. And the work he's done with Devin Haney has been
Yo,
absolutely amazing.
hey, man, shout out to Big Dog Willie with the super chat. Shout out to Big Dog Willie with the super chat. What they say there, boss man?
Can Khan be a subject of Shout out to my boy Big Dog Willie, man.
Ooh, that makes it hard. Listen, hey, he wasn't a bad fighter. He wasn't a great fighter, but he wasn't a bad fighter either.
Yeah, Amir Khan, boy,
He
that
fought.
boy
He fought some.
Sheen.
Listen, he fought some good fights. It just when it came time for the fights that mattered, it's too light in the ass. He was a
Yeah.
good guy though. Good guy.
I
Fast hands, I guess. I wouldn't. Is he Hall of Famer?
you gotta look at the resumes.
No. I'm asking you. To you, is he a solid Hall of Famer?
I gotta look at his resume. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look at his resume.
Okay, yeah. Looking at his resume,
Justin
um,
Wilson, what's going on, big dog? Salute to you, brother.
yeah. he made some good. He made some money. He was very entertaining, but I don't think he's a first round or first ballot Hall of Famer. I just maybe I'm a little biased here. But he didn't fight, but he didn't fight for long. Um, you know what, man? I think it's just the way that he looked against the when he had to fight those A-level fighters. At the time, Lamar Peterson, that was Lamar Peterson in his A game, and Danny Garcia. Uh, I will give him. He beat a old, worn out Zab Judah, which Zab is Zab. His skill set, his boxing ability was always there, even as he aged out. He lost to Kell Brook, and he lost. It's like when he fought those fights that if he could have got Bud out the way, if he could have got Terrence Crawford out the way, or maybe even won that fight against Lamont, or maybe something like if he'd have won against Lamont or someone like that, it'd have been good. He did outbox Chris Algieri, which was cool. But when he fought those athletes, those purebred dogs, and I hate to call Terrence Crawford a dog, but when he fought those better guys, or those guys that was on that level that he supposed to have been on, Americano really didn't. He really didn't. He didn't show up. He didn't show up in those fights. His ability was dwarfed by the other fighters that he was in with. So it's hard for me to say that he could be a Hall of Famer, or I think doesn't get mentioned in the light that he's supposed to. Actually, I think he gets mentioned a little too much because there's better fighters, who don't get the mention, who don't get the nod, like a Zab Judah, who I believe was a much better fighter. Granted, yes, he lost to Americon, but you got to look at the time they fought. The guy lost to Prescott. Like, come on, man. Like, it's hard for me. That guy, I don't think Americon is really. I think he's right where he belongs. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with losing to Danny Garcia and Lamar Peterson and even Terrence Crawford. Even Terrence Crawford. I just don't think. I think he's where he's at. And if I'm not mistaken, he got knocked out. I think he got knocked
Yeah,
out
he
by
got
Terrence Crawford in the first round.
Listen, 5 out of his 6 losses were knockouts. Shout out to my dog, man. Coop in the building. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he gets mentioned exactly where he belongs, man. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
like you
yeah,
said,
yeah.
but
Shout
no,
out to the
I'm with
podcast
you.
and all that.
I'm with you because he does. He does.
I think when it's all said and done, he'll have Ryan Garcia will have the same type of career that he has.
Hey, fellas, what's up?
No, I
Hey, how
think
you
his would be
doing?
better. What's up, Tom?
You guys did you guys already do the Legends card, or did you?
Who waiting on you?
Yeah, no. I can't remember what the card. I think it was Klitschko versus. I can't remember my card. It was Vladimir Klitschko versus. My God, it was. I put in the chat.
Just think about a card right now, and we'll get. Matter of fact, let's do that, right?
Okay, Klitschko, a prime Klitschko versus Evander Holyfield at heavyweight.
Which Klitschko?
You talking about
Vladimir.
the bigger one?
Okay. The Vladimir. Oscar versus Devin Haney at 135.
Oh, okay.
At 126, Roberto Duran versus Juan Manuel Marquez.
All right. Now, give me your. So while I'm making that, the pictures and stuff go on the page. Talk to us about each fight, and then Combo and I will kind of go back and forth with you about it. All right.
Okay.
So, yeah.
The Klitschko fight, the Klitschko versus Holyfield fight. The reason why I chose Holyfield versus Klitschko, I want to see what Evander can do with a guy that big. Like if it what if he can if that could be a style that hinders his success during the fight, and I can.
So you're saying that you want to see if Holyfield can stand there and back down Klitschko, or that if Klitschko's size gives him too much difficulty in the ring in that fight?
Yeah, both. The Oscar and Devin fight. The reason why I chose that fight, I want to see if Devin's defensive style with Oscar, because Oscar's a good defensive fighter too, and he can move around too. He's not flat-footed like everyone makes him out to be. He can move around the ring, and I want to see if Oscar's pressure style with his good to great defense can back down Haney, who people say he doesn't really have the power to keep Oscar off the whole fight and stuff like that. And
yeah, I can see that.
And Juan Manuel Marquez and Duran, I want to see if the same concept for Devin versus Oscar. If Juanma can keep Duran hands of stone off the whole fight, like pushing him off, like he does.
Well, I think when it comes to that Devin fight, Devin and Oscar, I think the difference is going to be that Devin's jab, Devin's ability to.
Oscar has a great jab. So.
Yeah, you're right. But Devin jabs, when he jabs, he gets off the line. Like he knows how to jab and dip his shoulder, and when he throws his jab to get in, you can notice he pops in and brings his shoulder to cover the chin. He kind of gets his head off the line, so it gets him out of the place for the counter.
Combo, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. You cut off. Do you think Devin can handle Oscar's constant barrage of body punching?
I think he doesn't get into that. I like Devin is a extremely mature fighter, extremely disciplined. I don't think Oscar draws him into the type of fight that he needs to draw him into.
No, I'm talking about prime Oscar. I'm talking about 25-year-old Oscar versus 25-year-old Devin.
Yeah. I'm saying that. I don't think that. The only difference is what I give Oscar is his corner. I think Bill Haney gets outcoached drastically. I do say that. I think if they have to make some adjustments, I don't think that Bill and them would know how to get the job done and make the adjustments for Devin in fight. But I think the ability, we're talking about just purely each fighter and their ability. I think that his Devin style pulls it out. I know for a fact Devin doesn't have what it takes to keep Oscar off his tail. He doesn't have the pop. So he's going to have to do a lot of countering.
See, this is the thing about it. This is what I disagree. Is because you don't have knockout power, that don't mean you don't have no pop, dog. If it was that easy, if it was that easy, Kambosos would have ran through him.
No, but the difference between Kambosos and Oscar has a chin where if he feels that you're not going to hurt him, he will continue walking forward.
Yeah, he had a weak body though. He had a weak body. Don't forget that. Don't forget that weak ass body.
Is Devin a great body puncher?
Yeah, he tears. Devin brings in the body.
What are you talking about? Did you see what he did to Kambosos?
That's his thing. He brings in the body, but I don't think Devin is confident enough to
do it to Oscar.
Fight. Yeah, I think Oscar has enough pop that makes Devin. See, that's the thing. It's not does Devin have enough pop to keep Oscar off of him. Does Oscar's pop make Devin respect him and alter his game and fight? Because when Devin gets hit with one of those quick, strong punches that Oscar wasn't a lightweight, he threw with some bad intentions at times. So when he did, it made people second guess. And when it's time to second guess, I don't think one that they'll be able to make the adjustments in the ring, and two, I don't think I doubt Devin's heart. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
how do you hold on, because I'm about to really cuss, bro. What you told you doubt his heart? Where you get that from? What? Man, get out of here, bro. You just talking crazy, Combo. I can't believe
he's from the Bay. He's from the Bay.
Yeah, whatever, dog.
Oh no! Back to the reason why I chose that fight is because look what Oscar did to a boxer at the same level as Devin with Trinidad, Felix Trinidad.
He lost.
No, he won that fight, I thought.
No, he did not. He lost. He lost to Trinidad.
I thought they fought twice. Didn't they fight twice and Oscar beat him the second time?
I don't know about that. I know he lost.
Yeah. No, I understand he lost, but look at what Oscar was doing during that fight. Like,
it wasn't enough, though.
Huh?
It wasn't enough. He lost.
Okay. Let's go back to the heavyweight fight. How do you guys see that fight playing out? Klitschko versus Evander.
I don't know, man. I don't know, because Evander Holyfield, he struggled a couple of times with tall fighters, with taller heavyweights. So Klitschko might be able to get him.
Breaking it down technically, combo. What do you see the weaknesses that Klitschko can take advantage of with Evander?
I think
and the other way around too.
I think, Evander, he has to lean on you. That's why he gets that headbutt. He has that headbutt thing going on, because Evander has to lean on you. He has to get that. He gets his rest by putting his weight on you and wearing you down that way, and also getting his rest in. I think Klitschko is so much bigger and stronger that he doesn't allow it to happen. I think when Evander comes in and tries when he tries to lean on him, the much bigger Klitschko stops him. I think not stops him like as in put him down, but he makes him second guess it. He has enough range and enough power at that range to make him, make it hard for him to get in there and lean on him. But Evander Holyfield, for his size, was a good boxer. Like, you can't deny that. He's a good boxer. He had good skills. His defense was pretty good. I got Klitschko. I hate to say it, I think I got Klitschko winning this. No, I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Who has the advantage in the corner, Klitschko or Evander? I say Klitschko because Emmanuel Stewart.
And I was thinking that. But see,
it's not even close. It's not even close, though, bro. It's not even close.
I'm trying to listen, man. I try not to be biased, but all the listeners, families, thank y'all for supporting us. But hey, I am who I am. I want to be biased for Holyfield, and I'm sitting here banging my head against the wall, trying to make sense that Holyfield could win. And I can't think of it. And in the corner, yeah, he'll be outcoached. I think Evander also, I don't think he gets frustrated, but I think he eventually it starts like quicksand. He just starts sinking down. He's going to try to fight his way out of it. He's not going to quit. But much bigger, stronger fighter wins.
Okay, the last fight was Manuel Juanma versus Hands of Stone.
Well, Hands of Stone's off top. No, it ain't even. This ain't even a debate.
You don't think Marquez has a chance?
You don't think his hand speed makes a difference? As his boxing?
No.
You don't think it's going to be enough to frustrate him?
You think his hand speed is better than Sugar Ray Leonard?
Sugar Ray Leonard made him quit.
No. Talking about that first fight, do you think Manuel Marquez is better than Sugar Ray Leonard was when they fought the first time? Yes or no?
Well, you gotta remember when they fought the first time.
I don't want to remember. I don't want to remember. I'm asking you a question, bro. Was he better than him? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, then. So I don't know why we even talking about this, bro. I don't know how we could even disrespect Roberto Duran in such fashion.
No. Rephrase that. I think Manuel Marquez was better than the first Sugar. I think the second Sugar was the best Sugar.
I almost cussed. Well, you crazy.
The second Sugar was the best one.
No. That first Sugar Ray was just as good, bro. He outthought him, bro. He got into his head. Stop playing. combo. Boy, I'm finna strip you your duties.
You're making Kyle close to cursing at you, dude. Don't do that.
The band is going to pop.
Listen, I'm about to strip you of your duties, man. You keep this up, man. I can't believe you. This is ridiculous, man. Let's be real. Listen, I like Marquez. Marquez is a good fighter, but compared to the great the Roberto Duran,
and the I forgot to add an undercard fight. Esteban de Jesus versus Julio Cesar Chavez.
Okay. Hold on. Real quick.
You gotta take one off. You gotta take a fight off.
Well, he wanted to do undercard. We're not gonna just hold that one for another day. But real quick, man, shout out to the comment section. Joey, he says, Oscar would sleep Devin. Oscar way too big and powerful and skilled. Devin got a weak chin, soft hands, and no inside game. And Oscar was robbed against Tito. Shout out to Justin, JW, Justin Wilson. And yeah, I understand. He says, man, why do people keep giving Kambosos credit? He only beat Tito. Devin Haney still hasn't fought someone that's equal. Justin Wilson again in the comment section. Hey, man, I see you keep typing, man. Keep them fingers going. Klitschko will knock Holyfield out. De La Hoya will crush Haney and Hands of Stone. Come on, man. He going to knock Marquez out. Yeah, yeah. You know, I got my Skip Bayless going.
Kai almost went Chris Carter on you.
Are you not entertained? No. Listen, man, we all have the right to have our own opinions. But go ahead and look at the card. That's a good card. Right now, I'm just gonna answer the question that we get later on. Does this get my $100? No. If I'm a casual fan, it doesn't get my $100. I'm taking my lady to the movies.
Why do you say it doesn't get you your $100?
As a casual fan, and I'm taking a young lady on a hot date, man. This doesn't draw me into. It just wouldn't draw me. Now, me personally, like me as a person that enjoys boxing, I know what I'm looking at. I know that these two guys at top, their style is going to be. It's going to be a clash at some point. Excuse me. And when the clashes, when the clash do happen, it's going to be a big bang.
How about the same thing with Oscar and Devin, or no?
The Oscar and Devin, I think it was going to be a boxing frenzy. So, you know, that's why I say a lot of casuals, they don't really enjoy to see the sweet science, you know? That's what amazed me, or how Floyd Mayweather even had the many fans he had, because it was just science. It was just the sweet science of boxing. But
okay. And my fourth fight, how do you guys see that fight playing out at 126? Chavez Sr. versus Esteban de Jesus.
I'm sorry, I was reading the comments. Go ahead and say that. Go that one more time.
Esteban de Jesus versus Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. at 126.
Oh, senior at 126.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Joey in the comment section. He says $100. Forget that date. I'll pay for it. And take a pizza home. Money well spent. I'll eat my pizza and stream that stuff. Shout out, man. We hear you. I'm with you with that, man. Just tell me send me the link. Nah, man. But listen, this is a good. You know what type of card this is? This is a top ranked card. It's going to be a good, solid fight. Hey, shout out to the podcast About Nothing. Thanks for coming up on the panel, and the host of the podcast About Nothing himself, Coop. How you doing today, man?
Yo, Coop.
What's up with y'all, man? I'm just up here soaking up the knowledge about boxing because I'm a casual, so this is exciting to me.
Coop, would you pay $100 for this card on a pay-per-view?
I paid $100 as a casual is a lot for me. So, who's? I know that's Devin Haney in the second row.
Yeah, it's Oscar versus Devin. It's Klitschko versus Holyfield. Duran versus Marquez.
Those sound like some good prominent names, so it would be a nice card. It would be $100 card, probably.
Okay.
Oscar by himself is going to bring more than $100.
Who's the headliner?
The Oscar versus Devin fight is the headliner.
Oh, okay. Now, if you flip it that way, that you might be able to get the $100 on some people. You might entice because Oscar and Devin as the headliner. Devin doesn't sell and is intriguing as Oscar. Oscar himself is trying to cover that card. Klitschko
you don't think Evander? You don't think Evander and Klitschko is going to bring in?
Klitschko didn't cover. Klitschko didn't cross over. He didn't really sell over here in America as well.
That Holyfield up there?
Yeah. Holyfield. He'll be covered. Like I said, it'll be Holyfield upselling us on this Klitschko fight. We're upselling the casual on the Klitschko fight, and Oscar selling the whole card.
Does the chance of knockouts make the card sell more? Like you're going to see a knockout or something like that for the casual fans.
Yeah, because
I've had casuals say that who's going to knock somebody out? Does he knock people? Like that's one of the questions they always ask. Does he knock people out? Like it's boxing involved in this, right? Like
but
we
the
watch
fight that sells that
match.
Coop, the fight that sells that the most is Duran versus Marquez because Duran can hit you hard with one punch and knock you out. I think that fight specifically is the one that sells the card just based on the knockout.
Like I said, so I just putting on my casual fan glasses. I don't see how it sells it to him, but me personally, Combo, the pugilist, I'm watching this fight. I might go by myself. I don't care if you can't come, baby girl. I'm in there. You getting my $100. I'm doing it. It's it.
Yeah, like I said, Oscar and Devin are the headliner, and Klitschko versus Klitschko. Those two card fights are championship fights, but the Oscar versus Devin is the headliner, and Klitschko versus Holyfield is the co-main event.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome, man. Shout out to the comment section real quick. JW Justin Wilson. Look, I got that picture, man. I'm gonna send it to him. Justin Wilson also says he's not. He said, "Heck no, not paying to watch all these knockout fights."
Yeah,
I hear you. Mute up, Kyle.
For the casual, they would love to see all knockouts, but technical boxing fans like the chess match. Yeah. They like the defense. They like all the shit that come with it. So you got to have like a crossover event for me to want to pay $100 for it as a casual. Like I'm growing to love the sport, so I want to see some technical matches where you're getting a master class in boxing, but I also want to see some knockouts. Like I don't want to see a long, drawn out, boring fight.
And this is why Combo said he couldn't understand why Floyd had such a big fan base.
Well, Floyd was knocking shit out early in his career.
Floyd was doing his thing earlier, when he was Pretty Boy Floyd. But Money Mayweather, like I said, as someone who loves the sport of boxing, who really watches it for what it's really for and what it truly is, I couldn't be mad. Like, dude, do you not see? He's getting his punch placement. The way he's playing the chess in there, the foot. Like when you really, me personally, when I'm looking at boxing, when I'm looking at a match, I'm watching how the fighter's slipping in, how he's getting his feet in, how he's angling his body, how he's not giving a tail, how he's doing misdirections, the feints, the counters, the when one fighter changes his cadence, how the other fighter combats that, or how the other fighter deals with adversity, and how this fighter deals with this fighter's adversity. Like the like Coop said, like the podcast about Nothing Said, it's the chess match behind it that really intrigues me. I could watch a whole card with no knockouts and be happy. I just don't think a casual fan, they're like, man, I don't want to watch boxing. Someone put on that monkey cage fighting. What's that stuff?
UFC.
The monkey bullshit stuff. Yeah. Go ahead now. This is a family show.
But also, don't see a fight like Jaron Ennis' last fight, where the guy is on his back foot pedaling around the ring the whole time, and he can't cut him off, and it's just a boring fight.
So actually, to me, that wasn't a boring fight, because I was there to watch, and I'm watching. I'm saying, well, okay, now how does Jaron Ennis deal with this? How does he close in that space? How does he get inside? How does he cut the ring off? And then I got frustrated because, like, dude, it's a lot of things you can be doing to do this, and you're not doing any of it.
So, but let's do this. Let's replace Oscar with Floyd versus Devin. Who wins that fight?
Oh,
now that's a good fight, but I think Floyd is just. He was Floyd.
Come on now. Floyd's too much, man.
His defense, and his ring general. Like, this is what a lot of people don't take in consideration. Floyd Mayweather is a true ring general. If they gave stars out, he'd be a 4-star ring general. And I can't stand Floyd Mayweather. Hey, Floyd, don't like you, but man, was you a ring general? Yes, he was. He's like Gary Russell level of general.
What?
Oh my God!
Gary Russell is nowhere near Floyd. I'm sorry.
Hey, when he say Gary Russell, just ignore it. Just skip over it. You ask him the best chef in the world, and he say Gary Russell. So just ignore that.
Let's not get Kyle started on Gary Russell, please. Combo. Let's not do that.
Hey. I can't help it that Gary Russell is one of the greatest fighters of all time. You watch his last fight against Mark Masayo, and that's some true ring generalship. The way he
got knocked out. He got knocked out.
He didn't get knocked out in his last fight. What are you talking about? Hey, kick him off the thing, man. Gary Russell is the greatest boxer, all-around boxer of all time. The way he isn't. His punch placement, man.
No,
he isn't. There's a Russell. You're right. You don't get me heated when you're talking about the king.
He's fantasizing. Don't worry. Just go back to the card.
No. For me, I would pay. If Oscar is the one headlining this card, I would pay $100 for it, because him alone would be bringing in 100 million pay-per-view buyers. Correct? Him alone, just Oscar by himself. Combo, right?
Yeah. Listen, Oscar was a megastar. Come on, man. Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy. You know, don't think about who you think of him as today. We're talking about in his heyday. All these fighters in their heyday, right? In their prime.
Yeah.
They are what they are, right? And
Oscar
even with that said, Devin, even with that said, Devin right now is in his heyday. This is his prime. He still doesn't sell. So, like I said, it's Oscar carrying that card.
But you
don't think did Holyfield sell a lot? Like, was he a big seller?
With the right people. He's so good.
Everybody sold in the 90s because they didn't have streaming and shit. Like, mother was having big fight parties at the house. Somebody paying for it. Like, now we can stream it and have a fight party.
Yeah. I just the thing is though. Hey, technical difficulties over there. Hey, you having some IT? Hey, get with the IT guys. Get with the IT guys and come right back. Now, with that said, I do think Holyfield sold well when he had the right dance partner. And of course, like you said, in the 90s, you had
there was no streaming.
Yeah, there was no streaming. But when I'm talking about, so when I'm looking at it, I'm not looking at because you can't equate for streaming. No one could have calculated what streaming is and what it was doing and how it has affected boxing. No one could have seen that coming.
Hey, just taking away
the fanfare. Yeah, I'm just talking about the fanfare, right?
Yeah.
The fanfare that Holyfield brought.
No, that's what I'm asking. Do you think a guy like Holyfield can be the headliner of a card, no matter the fighter he's fighting? Like, if it wasn't Tyson, do you think Holyfield could sell a card by himself?
No. You can look at the difference, like when it's Holyfield and Riddick Bowe, or if you put Holyfield against. If it was right now, let's say if you had Holyfield versus
Tyson Fury,
yeah, no, that doesn't sell as good as Holyfield versus Mike Tyson.
Who's the A side and B side of these fights that y'all said fantasy?
Oscar is the A side for the Devin fight.
Yeah,
of course.
I think Klitschko, because he has that whole European market on lock, he will be the A side more than Holyfield. Just because, he has a
Duran is the A side, definitely. Duran is the A side for the Marquez fight, definitely.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I would think so. How about you, Kyle? Who do you think is the A side for the Marquez versus Duran fight? I can't hear you.
He says, quit horsing around. Listen, the question was so bad, the IT guys are over there saying there's no reason to fix the connection.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you this though.
Kyle, you sound like you underwater.
I probably hold on.
Yeah, no. Like I said.
Hey, one second. Shout out to the comments real quick. Let's get these comments out here. Hey, man, listen, if y'all don't want to, so we don't have to keep stopping and going back to read your comments, go ahead and drop $2 with that super chat and get your words through, so the whole world can see it, even after I say it. But shout out to JW, Justin Wilson, my guy. He says, I only seen 2 times in the world totally dominated and really more than more than second 40 versus Corrales and 40 versus Gotti, those fights. Okay, he said, I only seen 2 times. Only 2 times in the world he had seen Floyd Mayweather totally dominated, and that was
Gotti
Floyd versus Corrales and Floyd versus Gotti. Those fights were classic. Man, hey, I feel you. Also, he says, I want knockouts. He said when he's watching these fights, he wants knockouts. He wants to see some carnage. He came for the plane crash and the train wreck. He don't want to see too many Coopers running into each other.
Yeah. No, I think for me, Oscar, it's like you said, combo, like you said with Oscar versus Devin. It's not if Oscar, if Devin can keep Oscar off. It's the other. It's not if Devin can keep Oscar off. It's the other way around. If
fuck. Oh, my bad. I thought I was on mute.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to JW, Justin Wilson. I knew you were the true soldier. He says, and it's this guy right now. You must have a great boxing mind. He says, Gary from here, Gary from DC, I ride and die for him. He is what Combo said. But those Lomo fights is what he needs. You're right. That Lomo fight was a bad fight for him. And he is up there with Floyd Mayweather. We agree. I agree.
See, for me, since I don't have a lot of big name fighters coming out, like besides Bernard and is Holyfield from Florida?
Georgia. He's a Georgia boy.
He's a Georgia boy? Okay.
Yeah.
Besides Bernard.
Roy Jones Jr. comes out of Florida.
Besides those two guys, I have to cheer for out of state guys like a guy like Oscar or Evander, because I don't really have a lot of top level championship fighters out of Florida, except for Roy and Bernard.
All right. Well, I hear you. So real quick, man, Mr. Heartbeat Miami, thank you for coming up today. Thank you for the card. And if you got another card, you know how to get in contact with us. You know what to do. Do you have any final remarks for the panel?
Not really.
Not really. All right, man. Thank you for coming through. Oh, real quick, you said how you feel about Keith Thurman? That's a Florida boy.
I'm iffy with Keith, kind of.
Okay. All right, and also, thank you for coming through, man. You have a nice day. Also, anybody in the chat, in the comment section, go ahead and drop in the chat your card. We can go over it. We can analyze it. You know, we'll bounce it around and see what happened, and we'll let the world get to take a look at what your mind is thinking about. Last but not least, I want to shout out. Shout out to JW Justin Wilson with the super chat. We love it, man. Hey, you know we coming as DC or Nothing. Real quick, Podcast or Nothing, man. Thank you for coming through. Podcast or Nothing is the second show on our installation of shows. Mr. Coop, the host himself, what you got to say?
Nothing. Fuck the host of the boxing section. Combo a real nigga. That's it.
Hey, this is a family show. This is why we can't have family shows, because the podcast is about nothing. You can't take some people everywhere, right? But thank you for coming through, man. Thank you for always showing love. We really love you, man. And on to the host himself, Mr. Cal Davis in the boxing session. Lead us out.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead. What you got to say?
Yeah. Hey, Justin Wilson, man, put your fantasy cards in the chat so we can do your card tomorrow. Detroit BC, what's up with it?
There you go. Now wrap us up out of here, man. Kyle, the boxing session, take us home, man.
In the words of the great philosopher Lil E, I want y'all to breathe air and live life. You know, it's always a treat when players meet. Thank y'all for breaking bread with me, man. With that, we are out.
Peace. We love it.